And a welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate your patience. I apologize here this morning as we got things set and ready to go for you here inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Great Lakes Honda City coming to you on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. They're open for sales and service Monday through Saturday, so make sure you go and visit them. They're the only place that I have gotten a vehicle in the last decade plus. I appreciate them so very much, and I very much appreciate my 2025 Honda CR-V. Go and see everything they have to offer by going to GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, we are here with you up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. So make sure that you are sticking with us wherever you are, and we welcome everyone from around the world. We've had people with us from Sweden, Italy, Spain, China, Russia, the Middle East, Mexico, Canada, and more. So I can't thank you enough. I believe France, the United Kingdom. So thank you for your support, and we truly appreciate you wherever you are. And God bless to each and every single one of you. A Merry Christmas to all of you once again. It's the day after Christmas, so we did not have a show yesterday. So we did have a show on Christmas Eve and a show the day after Christmas. I believe that the President of the United States, Donald Trump, declared Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas national holidays. So maybe that means that you got to have 3 days off, 5 days off with the weekend. Hopefully you did. But Merry Christmas from me to you. God bless to you and your loved ones. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all happy. And I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful celebration. And hopefully the weather's nice. If there's going to be inclement weather, make sure you get the food that you need, the medicine you need, whatever you need. And so then that way you can just curl up with your family and watch movies while it snows outside, right? That kind of hibernation type of thing. So just stay safe out there, but God bless to all of you, and a very merry, merry, merry Christmas from Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, from our family of shows, Wake Up Call, Superpowered Pop, Do Diz with Dan, Comic Book Trails, and Two Mics No Filter, which will return to you right before the new year. So a lot of good stuff coming up. Inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, we have a full slate of wonderful things coming up today. Inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', giving you the list of topics and segments of the day. You know, on a Friday, we have a trio of signature segments we do here on Wake Up Call. And we'll start with the Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. We'll jump into LEAD, which is an acronym, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and our fearless leader there, Mr. Jimmer Sikowski, a brother to me. So we'll have a special topic today that has to do with a season of giving, but more than that. And then we'll jump into the Top Dog of the Week, proudly presented by the wonderful team at K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare. And we'll round out today's show with a gentleman that's never been on the broadcast before. It's a very unique interview. We know all about the transfer portal when it comes to college football, but this is a high school player that is transferring. Dominick Sgambellone III, a quarterback, is transferring from Christian Brothers Academy in Syracuse, New York, to First Baptist Academy in Naples, Florida. He'll be heading down south. So we'll talk with him about his journey and so much more. Very excited to have Dominick on the broadcast today. So without further ado, let's hop right into one of the segments that I love doing here on the show. It's our longest standing segment, and it is poetic that our longest standing segment, the Annoying Moment of the Week, is brought to you by the longest standing Carvel franchise in America, Carvel DeWitt.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you...
Is that for real? Are you kidding me?
The Annoying Moment of the Week.
I really, honestly, I don't know how to respond to this.
Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like.
Do you have to be that crazy? I guess so. The Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by the wonderful team at Carvel DeWitt. This Annoying Moment of the Week segment, folks, it's brought laughs, it's brought honest conversation throughout the years, and I've gotten to talk about a lot of different things. One of my annoying moments that I'm going to have to share this week would have to do with the people that when you're at a light or a stop sign, and you're fully stopped. And let's call it a light, because at a light, you're stopped for sometimes a significant amount of time depending on the intersection and whatnot. So you're stopped at a light, right? And the person can see that the light is red. They can see that you're stopped. They can see that nothing's moving. And they come up to you to the point where you feel like you maybe have to roll up a little bit because you think that they're going to hit the back end of you, because you don't think they're going to be able to slow down fast enough to actually physically stop. That happened to me this morning before getting set for you here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. I'm looking at this guy behind me and I'm going, okay, bro. All right, man. Okay. And then you kind of thinking, like, do I have to go up a little bit here? And see, to give some context to this, I was hit by what I thought was a drunk driver. That was a very interesting night where I was hit by someone, and then another person in the car said that they were driving, and then I think another guy fled the scene, and the one person smelled like alcohol, and they had diplomatic plates, so they were protected by the government, and there was a lot of things going on with that night, which was really crazy and insane, and I learned a lot of things that I didn't know about America and about some people that are protected, and it doesn't make you feel safe and wonderful. They also falsified their insurance, so they couldn't find their insurance. So my parents actually paid when I was hit by the drunk driver. My parents paid, so that was fun. But a lot of things went on that day, and so when I see somebody flying up behind me, I always kind of from that moment feel like, okay, depending on how fast this person's coming or how close they are to me, that I'll roll up a little bit to give them some space, because I never want to have that feeling of getting hit again. So I would say that that's definitely an annoying moment of the week. Another annoying moment of the week, and I'm going to, some family members talk with me about stuff, so I'm going to leave out certain things about this, but they'll know what I'm talking about. Be nice to people in customer service. Be kind to people in customer service. Do you really think when you wake up the day after Christmas and you don't want to go to work that they do? Do you think that they really want to be sitting at Kohl's waiting to answer your questions? Or do you think they'd rather be at home hanging out with their family, playing with their gifts, having a good time? Do you think that they want to be at the airport being screamed at? Or do you think that maybe they want to just be at home relaxing with their children and with their animals and watching a movie or having a nice cup of coffee? See, we forget, because this is the weird thing about humanity. When we go somewhere, we expect to be waited on. Some of us do. Some of us understand that those people are human beings. But other people don't understand that that's actually a human being. They don't consider you a human being. They consider you a robot. They think you're a butler, right? If I go out somewhere and I'm spending my good hard-earned cash, this person better wait on me and better give me everything I want. But they're not treating those people as people. And that's what I find really weird in society, is why do we not think about the people in customer service as people? Why don't we think about the fact that they, just like you, probably want to be relaxing today? They want to be hanging out. They want to be just having some fun with their family, right? It's hard to get up in the morning sometimes and just go to work, and it's definitely hard to do it after a holiday when you want to relax and you want to be at home. So I get it. I come from a family that works very, very hard. For goodness sakes, my mom retired and then unretired 5 seconds later. Why? Because she loves people. She loves helping people. She's a community person. She can't just sit in the house. And so, I think about how my mom is and how she treats people and how hard she works. And I got a lot of, that example of a work ethic from my mom, to go to work, and if you feel sick or you feel tired or your girlfriend just broke up with you or you had a long day or you didn't sleep or something didn't go your way, you still got to show up. You still got to go to that game, and you got to smile, and you got to do the best you can. And I feel like, people don't understand the art of customer service and how hard it is sometimes to show up the day after somebody screamed in your face and threatened your life or told you they hated you or told you they hope you die or, whatever, called you names and whatnot. It's hard sometimes to do that. I worked at Walt Disney World. On a slow day, I dealt with maybe 1,000 people. So, I got a woman yelling at me when she's late to her reservation. I legally, based on what we have in our rules, could have canceled her reservation and told her to have a nice day. But instead, I'm being talked to by a 40-something-year-old woman as if she was a 4-year-old screaming child. And I'm supposed to sit there and I'm supposed to be kind to this woman when she's not being respectful to me. And I feel like that's probably an easy, annoying moment of any week, is how hard is it in customer service to be yelled at, sworn at, and called names, and you have to sit there and go, ma'am, it's going to be okay. Sir, calm down. And it's a tough thing to do. I will tell you this. If you show up 30 minutes before a flight, you ain't getting on. So, I will tell you that. It's not going to happen. And it doesn't matter. And, I was talking to my mom about this before. I said, how come when people don't get what they want in, the grocery store or the airport or, the bus station or wherever, and when you tell them no, then they call you a name and you're like, oh, now that you've sworn at me and belittled me as a person, now a seat opened up. Oh, now I can get you that. Yeah, you came in to Toys R Us and we don't have that toy, but now that you called me the B word, all of a sudden there's one in the back. How does belittling and attacking a human being make your life better? And how is it going to make your situation work out? I can tell you with utter certainty that yelling, swearing, and calling people names is not going to get you what you want. Now, have I been frustrated before? Have I had people disrespect me? Absolutely. And I mean, my dad and I were in a situation where these people were not very helpful to us and didn't seem very accommodating. And my dad told me when we went in, he told me to not say anything, to not be rude and this and that. And then my dad was a little rude. And I went up to the lady and I was like, I apologize. Because I know sometimes I've lost my cool. So when my dad was, a little bit, and he apologized after as well, but I know that there's been moments where you feel compelled, you feel like you've gone too far. And so you go up to someone and say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry that I spoke to you like that. I'm sorry I said it like that. I appreciate whatever help you can give. I know you're working hard and this and that. But a little goes a long way. And I feel like, again, I think the biggest annoying moment of the week is that we talk to people in customer service like they're not people, like we can't make them cry, like we can't cause pain to somebody, and you can. And knowing how hard, my mom works when she's at work, and knowing how she'll help out anybody, and if she can figure it out, she'll figure it out. So I would just say to really be nice to people, because there's some really great people out there. So to the Debs and the Ralphs and the Jims and the Tims and the Stacys and the Samanthas and the so on and so forth, just know I'm looking out, and I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate the work that you do. So keep doing your best, and let's respect our customer service people, because without them, we don't have grocery stores, we don't have movie theaters, we don't have restaurants, we don't have airports, we don't have bus stations, we don't have train stations. Without people that are willing to get up after a holiday that don't want to and go into work to make sure that you get what you need and you go where you want to go, without those people, this country, this world doesn't tick the way it ticks. So thank you to all my customer service representatives and to all the hard work that you give, because it doesn't go unseen, it doesn't go underappreciated. We love you, we appreciate you, and we thank you for doing the job that's really hard to do, especially after a holiday. With that being said, this is the Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. We'll take a step aside. When we come back, we'll talk about lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver, and you'll find out exactly what today's topic is.
Here's a message from Renee from Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McInerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Brian and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Brian and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Brian's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Brian's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Life gets busy, and sometimes that means us running around. So K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare offers you an opportunity to give your dog a place to stay while you take care of what you need to throughout the day. K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare is located on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, New York. You can see it from the highway, and it's just off of Erie Boulevard across from BJ's Wholesale Club. Call 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110 to schedule an appointment to bring your dog in and tour the facility. Appointments are Monday through Thursday after 6:30, where you and your dog can see everything that K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare has to offer, including a self-serve dog wash and a retail store filled with all of your dog's wants and needs, including food, treats, harnesses, leashes, and more, making K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare your one-stop shop for your furry loving friend. Right, Lily?
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here, hanging out with us inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, and of course, being here with us Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We were off yesterday for Christmas, so we're happy to be back here with you, and we appreciate you so very much for being here with us on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And with us being off yesterday, we do have a high school player of the week, which we're going to be celebrating, so make sure you stay close to our social media. That proudly presented exclusively the Central and Upstate New York High School Player of the Week, coming to you every week from Myers Creek exclusively, and they are on 33 Rippleton Road in Cazenovia, as well as on 720 Van Rensselaer Street in Syracuse, New York, in the Syracuse Inner Harbor, so make sure you look out for that. With that being said, we have Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver is the acronym, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero, the first Chick-fil-A in Central New York. Jimmer Sikowski, our fearless leader, there with us, and a Merry Christmas to Jimmer, and appreciate him so much. I have a very, very awesome gift to give him, and so I'm excited to see him soon. Awesome human being, wonderful family. Shout out to the Sikowskis. Shout out to Betty as well as Jimmer, and of course, a big-time shout-out to Sam and Hunter and Jack and Andy and everybody in the Sikowski family. Shout-out to Rudy, the dog, and much love to the whole family. So with that being said, let's jump into Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. Today's topic, giving more than receiving. How important is this, folks? To give more than to receive. It's extremely important. It's very, very important to understand what that means, right? And to live that. When it comes to Christmas, it's funny because, my parents usually say, "What do you need?" And then it'll be like 5 days before Christmas, 8 days before Christmas, and they're like, "You didn't give me anything." And this year I told my parents, I said, "I don't need anything. I don't." I knew there was, some things I wanted to get for work. Like I wanted to have a travel duffel bag that has wheels on it. And, so I know that was something that was kind of on my mind. Like, okay, I want to get that. And but I didn't need anything. I didn't genuinely need anything because God has been good, is good, will always be good. And so it was kind of like, hey, don't worry about it. Don't waste your money. It's fine, because I like to give. That's what I appreciate when I am sitting under a Christmas tree and I can get something for my mom, my dad, my dog, somebody else in my life that shows that I listen to you, shows that I care about you, shows that I'm excited about something coming up, or I value, something that we've talked about. And so, like with my mom and I are going to be taking a trip. So I got her some stuff for the trip to show her, like, hey, we're one step closer. We're 2 steps closer. And I got both of my parents these digital frames, and so that I can have these memories. I wanted to do something with my dad with Italy, and I wanted to put all of our pictures together. There's like 300 something pictures. And so I got him this frame, and when he opened it up, it already had all of our Italy pictures and videos loaded. And I got one for my mom because we're going to be taking a trip where we get to go around the world, and I wanted to have that with her too. And there's just something to be said about like your mom or your dad sitting at home, and these are frames that can be updated. So there's something about like I'm on the road, I'm at the college football playoff, and I, can send a video. So my mom can be sitting in her living room watching TV, and then all of a sudden she'll hear like this da-na-na, and it'll be like, "Ma, look at me, I'm down in Dallas." And I could be, running around the field or whatever that may be. Or if my dog's staying with like my mom or my dad, I could say, "Hey Lil, how you doing, babe?" So it's a really cool thing. I can send my parents messages on these. I can send them stickers. So, I could do a lot of cool things with it, and I'm really excited about it. So that was the big gift from me this year, was to be able to give my parents something that can keep on giving, memories that can keep on being added to it. And, if I'm out of town and I'm traveling and my mom misses me or something like that, she can go and laugh and smile and see the stuff that we've gotten to do together. I can give her updates on what I'm doing and what's going on. My dad, if he misses Italy, can go just look at his frame and go right back to the pizza, right back to the water, right back to the moment. So, I thought that was a gift that can continue to give. And, then I did things to think about it. Like my dad does a lot of work with his hands. He loves to work on stuff, loves to build stuff and fix things. And so I didn't want him to have to hold a flashlight and deal with all that. So the first gift I got him this Christmas season was I got him a neck light. So he could put this thing around his neck. It's like a necklace, and it's got lights on either side. And so he can literally have 2 hands on something and be working on something. And then it's like someone's holding a flashlight while he's working on it to show him, "Dad, I know my whole life you've always liked working on things. It's your passion, and I want to help you, and I want to give you an extra set of hands so that you always have, help there, even if you're working on it by yourself." So that was a way of showing my dad that. And then, with my mom, to look at some of the stuff I got my mom loves to be cozy. She loves to be warm and, kind of sit in her family room and just relax and whatnot and watch her shows and do some work and all that. So where my mom's holding court in her family room, I know she likes slippers. I know she likes socks. So I got her these like Disney slipper socks, and they have Pluto on it, which is my favorite. So, she can look at them and, think about me, and then also stay warm and be comfortable. And so, I mean, it's things like that. It's making Christmas cookies with my mom in honor of my grandmother, and knowing that not only do they taste good, but it keeps her alive. Making rigot pie for my other grandmother, not because it only tastes good, but it keeps her alive. So, to me, giving more than receiving is an easy thing, because when you give, you get to see someone cry happy tears. You get to see someone smile, someone hug you. And, my mom made me cry yesterday because she got me this watch, and it was the last gift I opened. So I knew that there had to be a twist, because I was like, it's not just going to be like, when I opened it up and it was a watch, I'm like, okay, what's the point of this? Like, what's it made with? There's something to this. And she said, turn it over and read it. And engraved on the back of the watch is an entire message from my mom that has my name, and it has this whole message from her. And, it made me cry. And so it's stuff like that, where you can give to someone, and that you can help make their day. And it's not about how much something costs. That watch could have been $1. It was about what she wrote on it. It has nothing to do with I don't know what company makes the watch. I don't know what it's made with. I don't care. I literally care about the message on the back of the watch. And I'll keep that watch forever, whether it's ticking or not, because of the message. And those are the things that matter. The message that we can give to other people. When you buy someone a gift, when you make someone a gift, when you write someone a card. My mom read her card and she liked it. My dad read his card when he was away from me after we celebrated Christmas Eve and Christmas morning. So he texted me like, that was a beautiful card. And those are the things that matter. Even getting something for my dog and seeing how it's like, she watches Paw Patrol. So, when she's at home by herself, I'll turn the TV on, and most of the time she's watching Paw Patrol. So I got her these gifts, and she was like not paying attention to certain things, and she was wanting to eat her food and get her treats, and she opened up her last gift, and it was the Dalmatian from Paw Patrol in his fireman outfit, and she was so excited to play with him, and like that made my day. That, it was like, okay, she's not really invested in this or that, and then she opens that up and she's so excited to play with it, which made me feel like maybe she does know that she's watching that show. Maybe this character is familiar to her, and that's why she likes playing with him. And she's looking at me off camera right now. She popped her head up when I said that. So I love you, Lil, my baby. But yeah, I mean, giving more than receiving, right? I love doing that, seeing my grandmother's. I got my grandmother a pillow when she turned 100. And she was sitting in her chair, and she saw it, and I said, I got you this pillow because you made it to 100, and I'm proud of you. Like, I'm happy that you made it here. I'm happy that you're here with us. And she started crying, and I have that pillow, and in my bedroom, that pillow is right off to my right side. So every night before I go to sleep, I can see that pillow, think about her legacy, think about, how she lives on with me and how she's safe and sound with God in heaven. So to give really does help you receive more than any gift you can get. So I would tell people, when you want those gifts and you want somebody to buy you this and buy you that, and how much did it cost, and you care about all the materialism of the world, I want to caution you on how lonely that world will be if you keep going down that. On how if it's all about the cars and the money and the, like, okay, yeah, that's jewelry, but is it $100 jewelry or is it $1,000 jewelry? When people look at things, I don't care how much somebody spends on a gift. If you make me a macaroni ornament, like my godson Noah, he made me a reindeer ornament, and it stays on my table in my conversation room when you walk into my home all year long because he made it. So I don't care if it's Christmas, I don't care if it's summer, it stays there. And it's right beneath the picture of the day I became his godfather officially. So, you know, to me, those are the things that matter. The blanket that him and Ari got me, my godson and my niece Ari, that blanket is out on display in my theater room anytime somebody goes down and relaxes and watches TV or a game, like a movie or a game or whatever. Like when they're sitting there with me, that blanket is right out there to show everybody how proud I am to have, you know, not only that niece and nephew, but all my nieces and nephews, and how much I value being Uncle Dan. So, you know, I probably, you know, I get an Xbox and I probably play it 4 times in 8 years. But you get me a blanket honoring our relationship, and I think about that thing all the time. So, not that Xbox isn't good, or not that, you know, you can't have fun with that, or not that I don't appreciate my phone and, you know, what my phone can do and all this. But again, why do I like my phone? Because it connects me with the people that I love and I care about, right? If my phone didn't do that, then how important is it? So it's about relationships. It's about giving. It's about caring. And to me, it's better to give than to receive, because when you give, you get to see, like, that person know that you heard them, that you remembered, that it mattered, that you value. And that to me is the greatest gift. When you can show somebody, like, hey, I heard what you said, I very much appreciate what you said, or I care about it, and I want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate what matters to you. I want to celebrate what you care about. And to me, that just goes such a long way. So, you know, I didn't really, it's funny, like I said, my parents usually ask me a bunch of times, what do you want? And my dad asked me maybe once. My mom asked me maybe once. And then they didn't ask me again. And then I got gifts from my parents that shows that they absolutely were listening to me. They heard me. They valued what I had to say, and they got me things that will help me do my job, will help me travel. And, you know, it's funny how my parents knew exactly what I needed when I barely said a thing. And that just shows that they listen. It shows that they care. It shows that they value, and that, you know, it's not just one of those things where it's like, you know, send me a list and that's it. It was like, you know, I hear you and I want to do something that's helpful. So, you know, make sure you do that, and do it for no reason. Don't wait for Christmas or a birthday or an anniversary. Go do something today, right? Go do something for somebody you love today. And see what that does for you. See what it does for them. You know, I whenever somebody's opening a gift that I got them, I always sit there and, like, I just watch in silence, because I'm excited. I'm excited to see how they react, and to see how much it means to them, or it touches their heart, to hope that you know, they know that I put thought into it. I'm not a guy that buys you gift cards. I'm not a guy that, like, gets you just bland stuff. If I put it to you like this, if our relationship is that, like, I just buy you, like, a box of candy and a gift card, then we're probably not that close. Because to me, it's not that you know, those things can't have value, right? That you can't use a gift card and go to the store, or you can't, you know, eat your candy or whatever. But to me, it's like, I want to show somebody that I really know them, that I heard them, that I value them. And it's funny because my mom and my dad, you know, they make a stocking for me every year, but they never say this to me. And, you know, I know my mom can hear this, but, like, they never really say, like, oh, you know, really much about their stocking. And it's kind of like they think like, okay, Santa's not coming for me, right? And that's not true. So I actually, when they didn't know, I filled both of their stockings. And so I remember saying to my mom yesterday on Christmas, I said, Mom, why don't you open your stocking? And she paused and she turned and she looked at it kind of like in amazement, in like shock. And to do like something even little like that, to let your parents know, like, hey, you always prepare my stocking. You always put thought into it. I want to make sure someone's taking care of you too. And that goes a long way, folks. And so just do that. Think about that. Think about ways you can do a little bit extra for your kids, your grandparents, your parents, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your fiance, your dog, your cat, your bird, your neighbor, to just see them smile. Because you have no idea when that gift is going to hit, when that moment's going to hit. And so often in life, we do things and God puts a little extra pixie dust on it, so to speak. And when you put that thought in and you put that care in and you put that love in, He somehow accentuates it. And I can't describe exactly how He does what He does because He is all-knowing and almighty. But there's a certain way, like I said, even just my mom looking over at her stocking, expecting it to be empty and seeing it full. Like little things like that for a woman who has always done really amazing things for me and always made miracles come to life and somehow, some way does these backflips, to be able to do something small for her and say, hey, Ma, I got you too. Like, God always finds a way to take those moments and raise them even higher. And that comes in giving. I feel like when we do God's will, God makes sure that He's present. I mean, He's always there, but, when you do something for somebody. It was funny because I was with my buddy James on Christmas Eve, and we've been keeping this tradition alive. Like when we were kids, we used to see each other on Christmas Day, and his parents and him would come to my house, and we would share gifts, and we'd open gifts together. So his mom and his dad and him, and my mom and my dad and me, and we would just kind of all hang out. And so him and I have kept this tradition going. Over the last few years, we kind of brought it back. And it's just him and I. And, our parents are alive by the grace of God. And, but him and I get together. And we got together on Christmas Eve. And, it's funny. I got him this small gift. And then I was like, do I want to buy him something else? And then I bought him a big gift. And so I give him his gifts. And then I go to his car after we had lunch. And he's like, my gifts to you are in the car. And he gave me this small gift. And after I opened it, he gave me this big gift. And again, it's like, I didn't know, he didn't know. But to me, that's God. That's God going like, you both got each other two things. And you didn't know, Daniel, if you should get him two things or how you should do this and that. And it was like, but you did it. Something inside of you said, do this and do this. And that was me, because like, then here he is, thought of you and did two different things. And I gave him, like, the gifts we give each other have meaning. So, he got me Syracuse socks and was like, I thought you could use these for the game. But where God accentuates that is my grandmother, my G-Mama got me Q socks, and I think one of them has a hole in it. So I don't usually wear them anymore, but I love them, and I love them because of her. So he buys me these socks that have Q's on it, and they're the only other socks that I have besides the ones my grandma got me. And he's like, oh, I thought you could wear these to the games. Little does he know that he's helping me keep that memory on with my grandmother. Then I give him a snow globe, because his grandma just passed, and it's the last snow globe I gave to my grandmother. So how did he give me something connected to my grandma, and I give him something connected to grandmothers, and we didn't even know either one of us was going to do that. And then I got him a sign for him and Tracy that says "Be Our Guest," which is, we both love Disney, but it has like a message about the house and about being blessed because his house is so warm. And when I went into his house, I saw that he hangs a lot of these like spiritual and positive and faithful words and phrases. And I love stuff like that. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know him and I both like that. So I gave him one of those. So what does he give me? He gives me a basketball hoop because he goes, remember when we were kids and we used to go to the basement and we used to play basketball? We used to dunk on each other and do all this stuff. He's like, well, I figured you could put this in your office so you could have something from our childhood. And moments like that make me want to cry because he didn't just buy me something to buy me something. He bought me something that shows that he valued that time together as a kid, that time that I really valued and that I cared about so much. And sometimes you wonder, like, how much does he care about it? And then all these years later, it's like, hey, D, remember when we used to play basketball? Well, I got this so, you could have it. Maybe we can do it again. And so to me, the fact that he put so much thought into the gift, it shows that our friendship is real. It shows that it's genuine. It shows that it can last through tough times. It shows that it has life. It has legs. It has wings to it. And that, hopefully it's just getting started. So it's those moments in life where you give and you realize that you receive so much more in giving than you can ever get in simply just receiving. That message has been brought to you by Lead, Learn, Evolve, Adlib, and Deliver. Proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, New York. The first Chick-fil-A in Central New York. Go and see the OG today. And get that peppermint chip shake because it's fantastic. And now a message from Myers Creek Brewing Company, with locations at their Cazenovia Farm Brewery, Syracuse Inner Harbor Tap Room, and soon-to-be Lake Placid Tap Room.
Well, I think first and foremost, the Feldmeyer family and our team are extremely passionate about what we do. We care very much about what we do. The Feldmeyer family is always investing. Our taproom management team, our brew management team, our marketing management team, and all of the team members that get after it every day, they leave it on the field. They put their heart and soul into it. I know for a fact that everyone that works at Myers Creek wants to be there, and we want them to be there. We want them to feel good about their job. And again, if you've never been to a Myers Creek, especially to the brewery, I want your eyes to open really big. I want you to see how big of a brand this is. I want you to see where we're going. The sky is the limit, and I feel very proud of that, and I'm very excited about that. When you think of designing a menu for a brewery, it's kind of open to a lot of different interpretations. You can do American, you can do Asian, you can do Italian, and you just have to find, how that meets that pub style dining experience, that gastropub vibe. And I think it's super fun for us because obviously we know that, everyone in the world is going to sell a pizza or a burger or a french fry, but what can we do to be different? And what can we do to be true to who we are? We are a brewery, a brew pub. So the flavor profiles are kind of all over the place, and I think it's super cool that we have a massive smoker at the brewery in Cazenovia, and we smoke a lot of our products. We have a delicious smoked turkey. We have barbecue ribs on Sundays, from a pulled pork sandwich to a chicken wing. You go to the Inner Harbor and you go to the Kaz location and you'll find similarities in the menu, but also things that are a little different and also kind of fit those different demographics or different communities, and also hopefully just drive you to try every tap room that we have open at some point because you get a little something different at each one. We understand how hard it is to, work every day and get after it every day, and when you're done at the end of your day, you want to go out and put your feet up in a good ambiance and good environment. So we take pride in that. We make sure that everyone knows that they're very much valued to us.
This is Jim Dispenza, owner of Game Point Sports Complex. You hear the same story across any sport that kids play and any sport that adults play. There's never enough places to play. That was definitely true with volleyball, definitely true with basketball. Could be cheerleading, it could be field hockey, which is what we're seeing now. Every sport has a lack of places to play, and I think Syracuse in particular is a place where it's really bad. Despite the fact that we've got a lot of athletic talent around here, We just seem to have not enough places for people to play, and they're going to different places. They're going to Rochester, they're going to, Buffalo. They're going all different places because we don't have a place here, and I felt like that should change. This was a long project from planning all the way through execution to opening the doors. A lot of work went into it, obviously, a lot of money, a lot of resources, and the dream always was kids being in the gym, having a good time. And I've always felt like sports is the most unfiltered joy that you can observe with people, that people can experience, because it is fun, it is a sense of accomplishment, it's all of that wrapped into one thing. And so watching kids going up and down the court with big smiles on their faces has been just amazing experience. I'm looking forward to years to come of that same thing. We've taken the time to invest in multiple sports, and then what we're finding is the mere fact that we have a large, clean, well-lit space has opened a lot more doors for us beyond basketball, volleyball, pickleball. Now we're having some interest from cheerleading. We've got girls field hockey coming in, and then also there's quite a bit of room for spectators. We've got bleachers, we've got benches, we've got a concession lounge where people can get food and drinks. We're going to have multiple sports going at the same time, using every square inch of this place for what it was conceived for, which is basically people to come in, have a good time in the sport that they prefer. We manage each situation differently. Everybody has different ability to afford different things. Some are bringing 10, 15 people, some are just 2 people. I've had a lot of situations where it's a father shooting around with his son, it's a mother playing pickleball with her daughter or with her son, and then those situations come up and we work with people, and that's allowed us to have groups from 2 people up to 30 people and have some flexible pricing behind it. We're an organization that is here to work with the community any way we can, and I guess part of it is just making sure that we have the flexibility to put together a plan that makes sense regardless of the size of your group. So in order to book time, the best option is to go to our website, gamepointsports-syr.com. You can click from there and sign up for events, sign up for your own particular training, sign up for birthday parties, all of that.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Hope you're all having yourselves a wonderful holiday week, wonderful Christmas week. Happy Hanukkah. I believe Kwanzaa is today, so happy Kwanzaa to everybody out there. Appreciate y'all for being with us inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. And, of course, I'm very happy to be here celebrating Jesus' birthday. So Chuck said good morning. Good morning to you, Chuck. Happy that you're here. God bless you and your family. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. My top dog of the week. This one's an easy one for me. I have 2, actually. Let's get into them. So my top dog of the week, proudly presented by the wonderful team at K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare, Lorraine, Chad, and the crew. By the way, Merry Christmas to Lorraine and to Chad. Lorraine, God bless you. Lorraine Perry, such a beautiful, wonderful soul. Awesome, awesome human being. Such a great heart. She's incredible. And thank you, Lorraine, for believing in me so many years ago. Thank you for continuing to believe in me. I know that Jim is watching over you in heaven. I know he loves you dearly, because who wouldn't? You know what I mean? Like, who wouldn't love you, Lorraine, for your spirit? You've been so good to people. You've been so good to animals. And, you and Chad and your whole team at K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare, I can't say enough about the job that you do, how well you've taken care of Lily over the years, how good you've been to me, how good you've been to my mom, my dad, everybody. So God, the advice you've given me. So God bless to you. We love you. We appreciate you. So easily, you're one of my top dogs of the week. I also want to say a top dog of the week for me is, I should say, those people that run gas stations, because you're open on holidays because people are traveling. You're open in the middle of the night because people are traveling. And, there's something to be said about, gas stations, because, movie theaters, you're open most of the time, and you're open on holidays, and Chinese buffets and whatnot, they're open pretty much on all the holidays and all this, but gas stations are literally open when people close. They're open when supermarkets are closed. They're open when restaurants are closed. Gas stations are probably like the last thing to close if they close. And if they close, it's probably 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And if you're driving and you need gas and you're looking around, you're like, how can these gas stations be closed? They're supposed to be open. Don't they know that people are traveling? And I've been there before where like I'm getting upset, and then I'm thinking in my head, like, again, these are human beings, like customer service, right? And so they're human beings too. And if they own this gas station, they want to sleep like everybody else. So it's not an easy job to have. It's a very difficult job, I'm sure, to have. And you're getting people at all different hours. God only knows what they're acting like and whatnot. Hopefully you're safe, and may God be with you and with us all in every step of the journey by the grace of Jesus, and Jesus, in his name. Amen. It's got to be tough to be manning a gas station. So to everybody out there that's doing that, who's saved my butt when I needed gas, who's been in the middle of nowhere when I needed gas, who stayed open when I needed gas, I just want to say thank you. And my biggest top dog of the week, probably presented by K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare, K-9 Campground Dog Boarding, is another wonderful place that Lorraine worked with over the years. And Lorraine, obviously now that's with Lena, and we have the blessing of working with them too, and they're right around the corner. So, God bless to every place that we get to work with that helps dogs for short and long-term care, because those are the only places we would pick. But K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare, I just want to say my other top dog of the week is Jesus Christ himself. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And I say this to people all the time, what person besides Jesus Christ, what person gives gifts to other people on their birthday? What person celebrates their birthday by watching everybody else get gifts? Who does that besides Jesus Christ? Besides, like for your birthday, do you give gifts to other people? Maybe you do. And that'd be a really nice thing, right, if you do that. But typically, by and large, when it's your birthday, you want people to bring you out to dinner, come see you, call you, text you, give you gifts. What happens on Jesus' birthday? We all celebrate, but do we celebrate him? I've talked to atheists before, atheist, agnostic, whatever, and I welcome them here to the show because I say, hey, we're all God's kids. Whether you believe you are or you're not, you are. So I welcome you to the show, and I always tell people, hey, if I can respect you, respect me. I'm never going to be the one that's going to disrespect you for who you've chosen to be. I'm going to pray for you. I may not agree with you, but God does not teach me to disrespect others. So when disrespect happens, it happens from the other side toward me, and then that's where I have to check myself because, yeah, there's moments where someone disrespects you, so you're disrespectful back, and it's never right to do an eye for an eye. So I apologize for those times where I have. I'm not the instigator of disrespect. That's not the life that I like to live in. So when somebody tells me I don't believe in God, I say, okay, listen to the show. Watch the show. You're welcome. Come sit on my couch. Come have dinner with me. Let's talk. Let's discuss. Why not? You know what I mean? You think when Jesus walked the earth, everyone he talked to was a believer? Or do you think that maybe he talked to some people that weren't, that became believers after? And is it not my job to welcome everyone and to talk with everyone? My God does not discriminate, so how can I? And, if I'm sitting with someone who's atheist or agnostic and they don't believe in God, I asked this one girl one time, she's atheist, and I said, well, do you give gifts on Christmas? Do you celebrate Christmas? She goes, yeah. I said, okay, so you celebrate the birthday of someone you don't believe in. And it's like, well, because Christmas has become commercialized. Well, I do it for my kids, and they like it. And I'm like, yeah, but what is Christmas? Christmas is literally Jesus' birthday. That's what Christmas is. Christ is in the name. That's why I don't like when people write Xmas, because you can't take Christ out of his own birthday. Christmas is all about Christ. It's all about Jesus. It's all about his birthday. So if you don't celebrate that, then why are you celebrating? And so my top dog of the week, this week and every day of my life is Jesus Christ, is God himself, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, Jesus, I should have woken up yesterday and I should have said, first and foremost, happy birthday, because that should be the first thing that comes out of my mouth. And every day that I wake up, the first thing I should say is, thank you, God, for waking me up today. I appreciate my blessings. And it's not that I don't thank him, but I don't always do it first. And that needs to change. So I appreciate you, God. And I thank you. And it's your birthday this week. And like I said, on your birthday week, everybody celebrates themselves and buy each other gifts, buy themselves gifts. I want to send it back to you and say happy birthday. Thank you for coming to this earth. Thank you for walking this earth, God in human form, to be in the human experience, to show how close you are to humanity, to be amongst your creation, and to become close with your creation, to become one with your creation, to show us that you love us so deeply that you're willing to go through the pain that we go through and then some. That the bridge you built between you and us is not that far. That the bridge that you built between you and us cannot be broken, and the bridge that you built between you and us is so strong it defeated death. It defeated the devil. It took everything about the afterlife and changed it. To be who you are, God, and what you've done is beyond everything. It's not a fairy tale. It's not a dream. It's real. And I celebrate your birthday because I celebrate you, and I would be absolutely nothing without you. I wouldn't exist. So, thank you, Jesus, for all you've done, including giving up your life. And I want to say, Merry, Merry Christmas. Happy birthday to you, my Lord. And I love you more than anything. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life, it's time to jump into our next piece. We're going to take a step aside and bring on our final guest of Christmas week. That is Dominick Sgambellone III, who will be joining me in just a moment here on Wake Up Call, picture in picture, to tell his story right after this.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being with us inside the Great Lakes Honda City studios, and we are here in Christmas week, and we want to wish everybody once again a very Merry Christmas. So we appreciate you all for being here, and I'm very grateful to have my next guest here on the broadcast, and we're going to have the opportunity to speak with him as we bring him in here. He's never been on the show before, so it's awesome to be able to have this opportunity. So we are here picture in picture with Dominick Sgambellone, the third high school quarterback transferring from CBA in Syracuse, New York to First Baptist Academy down in Naples, Florida. And Dominick, happy to have you here on the show. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing very well. So bring me into it, Dominick. How did this all happen? Because, well, I will preface by saying this. Syracuse is my home. Florida is my second home, second hub of my company for Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. So I get it, how you go from Syracuse to Florida, but what ultimately made you choose to transfer schools and to go down to Florida as opposed to staying up in Syracuse?
Honestly, it was a big family decision. Moving down to Florida, you got to sell your house. It's pretty big move. But my sister goes to college down in Miami already, and my mom's mother also lives down in Florida. But I believe First Baptist is a very good situation given the situation at CBA now. Obviously, leaving a very winning program and going down to Florida is a big change, but I feel First Baptist Academy will fit me very well, and I think it was ultimately the right decision to move.
Yeah, and you said it's a big-time family decision. How long has your family been kind of discussing this and working on this decision?
About a year and a half. My family has always loved the weather down in Florida. Winters aren't really our biggest. They don't really love the winter up here and dealing with all the snow. So obviously my mom wants to be in 70-degree weather when it's winter up here. So.
Yeah, I could definitely understand that for sure. That's, the weather obviously better down in Florida. Could be like 70 degrees right now, and it's 11 in Syracuse, New York. So I could definitely get that. But for you, I mean, how are you? Like you said, the family's been talking about this for about a year or so. So how have you been dealing with this, being at a school? And obviously you have friends at that school. You have a connection to the school itself. So, I mean, were you kind of thinking about this like, hey, if this ends up happening, this is going to be really hard for me? Like, how difficult is a decision for you to leave familiar territory, so to speak?
It's pretty difficult being I've been at CBA for 4 years. I've made a really good group of friends, but honestly, football is my main goal, and I'm really focused on that goal. So I just really want to do anything to put myself in the best situation for football. And yeah, I mean, I'm ready, and I really want to compete at the next level. And I think going down to Florida, being able to train year round, everything like that. I mean, to have success in life, you have to drop something. So I'm willing to drop mainly everything for this sport that I really love.
What makes you feel that way when you say, like, listen, I'm willing to drop pretty much everything for football? Like, as much as it's hard, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm leaving a place I know. I'm leaving people I know. You just said it. You said, I'm doing all of this for football. So bring me into why football is that important to you and why you love it so much that you're willing to get uncomfortable to get comfortable again.
Yeah, I mean, I really love competing. That's really what I do it for, going out and competing against another team, another opponent across from you. I love everything really about football. I watched my dad growing up playing football, and it really led me to fall in love with it. And playing quarterback, I love having command of the offense. I love leading a group of guys out there. So I think it's like really something I love.
Yeah, and that quarterback position, was that always the position that you wanted to play? Was that always the one on your mind, or did it kind of become that in more recent history?
Honestly, it was mainly the position I wanted to play, but I did play a few other positions growing up. I played wide receiver and defensive end,
Okay.
but I also played baseball growing up, and I had a pretty good arm, so I tried out for quarterback, and I got it, and I really fell in love with it.
When did that happen for you that you transitioned to quarterback?
At a very young age, I think I was about 8 years old, I played Pop Warner with my hometown friends, and we were out there just throwing the football around and playing baseball as well, and I realized I had arm, so I just decided to play quarterback.
So you make that move to quarterback. Did you know that, the quarterback position, not only are you a leader of the offense, but in a lot of locker rooms, the quarterback is the leader of the entire team? How much did you know about that side of it? Like you said, you did it at a very young age. How quickly did you learn, like, hey, yeah, I can throw the ball. I feel like I have an arm. I like the position. But how quickly did you learn that that position comes with a lot of responsibility?
I learned it came with a lot of responsibility, honestly, watching TV, watching other quarterbacks around me, and watching how they lead the huddle, how they lead their locker rooms. And honestly, growing up, like starting to take visits to other like colleges and other programs around, you can kind of see and tell how different quarterbacks operate their system. And you can kind of implement different like factors of their game and how they lead into your own, and like kind of take it into your own way and be able to lead your team.
So when you're watching other quarterbacks and you said you can kind of take pieces and implement those pieces, what quarterbacks have you looked to and what pieces from them have you implemented?
I really love the way that Justin Herbert played at Oregon. I loved his mentality, and I love his like ability to rally a group of guys around him, and his success that he had there. And I mean, I wear number 10 because of him, so that's who I go for.
So I mean, like you said, you like kind of how he goes about it, but what is it about him that you just see consistently, right? Because if we do something well, it doesn't mean anything unless we do it well consistently. So what is it that Justin Herbert does that you feel like has been consistent enough for you to say, like, yeah, that's somebody that I really look up to?
I think really his mindset, honestly. I've seen a couple documentaries and stuff about him, and I've actually listened to some of his interviews. His mindset is really good. He wakes up every day early in the morning, like works out a couple times a day, gets training in, eats right. So I try and like take parts of that and implement it into my own life.
We are here today with Dominick Sgambellone, the third high school quarterback transferring from CBA in Syracuse, New York, to First Baptist Academy down in Naples, Florida. You said that your sister's already down there, so this is something that's been on the mind of your family. So do you know the Naples area well, or is this something that you're going to have to get to know?
I've been down to Naples a couple times. I've driven through there, going down to Miami to visit my sister. And my grandma lives in Tampa, Florida, so it's about an hour difference between there and Naples. But I visited First Baptist Academy down in Naples, and I got to see the area. So I'm kind of familiar with it, but I'm still going to have to get used to it, yeah.
What made your family choose that area of Naples? I mean, there's so many schools in Florida. Florida is arguably the best state when it comes to recruiting high school football players and prep school football players. So, I mean, obviously IMG Academy is down there. There's a lot of places all throughout the great state of Florida. What made your family make the decision on Naples? And did it have to do with saying, like, hey, we want our son to go to a place that we really feel like is going to help him be at the next level?
Yeah, I mean, going in, we wanted to ultimately be close to my sister, and First Baptist is in Naples, and I really love the faith aspect of First Baptist. And with Coach Cawley coming in as the first-year coach, I've seen his background. He coached a team up in Tallahassee. His quarterback there had the passing record in Florida. So he runs an air raid offense. That's something I really want to be a part of. And with all the success that they've had over the years, it's also something I really want to step into. And their quarterback situation is also something that I think would fit me pretty well.
And so you'll be going in there as what, a junior?
Yeah, I'll be stepping in spring ball, play my spring ball season as a sophomore, and then this upcoming football season as a junior.
You know, and like you said, I mean, spring ball season, you have the opportunity to be a part of spring ball before you go into your junior season. Florida plays all year round. I've been out there for 7-on-7s out at HB Plant in Tampa. So, I mean, that part of the decision as well, that you're going to a state that really never stops playing football, just how much that weighs into a decision for you.
Yeah, that was a big part of my decision. Honestly, I fell in love with this game, so that's all I want to do. So hearing that they have spring ball down in Florida, given with the weather, I just want to train year round, be able to play year round, stuff like that.
I know you said you like the coach coming in because you've done some research and seen what he's accomplished, but what else do you like? I mean, a first-year coach coming in, some people like to go to a program where they know that the coach is established, they know they've been there for a while. Why are you excited to come into a program when the coach is coming? Essentially, you're coming in parallel to when they're coming in.
Yeah, I mean, I have a great sense of trust in him, and I believe, like, interviewing with him at first, visiting the First Baptist, just what his background is and his faith aspect into football is like something that I can really trust in, and he seems like he's going to lead me to the right path.
You're coming from Christian Brothers Academy where faith is important and they don't hide it. You keep talking about faith at First Baptist Academy and why that's important to you. Why does your faith mean so much to you, and why does that have to be a part of the place that you go?
I believe it's something very important, honestly. At Christian Brothers Academy, we do monthly masses, and I go to church, so it's really in touch with me. And I mean, I wouldn't be able to go anywhere without God, so I have to implement Him in my life. I pray every night, so that's a big part of who I am.
Well, Dominick, I will tell you that that is the one thing about yourself that will exist in all times and all periods, no matter how much money you have, what you have, where you are, what situation you're in, if things are good, if things aren't that good, if you get what you want, if you don't. The one consistent in the peaks and valleys of life is God, and if you have Him at your center, you'll be able to handle the peaks and the valleys the same, because if you stay with who is most consistent, that'll help you be consistent as well.
For sure.
Dominick Sgambellone here with us, the third. So your dad also a Dominick, and you talked about the fact that he played as well. What position did your dad play?
My dad played offensive line.
He played offensive line, so he would have been the guy that was blocking for you. So What has Dad taught you about the game? What did he learn from the game that he wants you to know? Like, what are kind of those lasting messages from your father? Because I'm sure he says a lot, and he talks to you about the game a lot. You probably watch football together and whatnot. What are the things that he said that stick with you the most?
Honestly, he's always told me to keep my head up. Even through the bad times, he's helped me. He's always there at all my training sessions. And watching him play, he also got to experience a really good quarterback who ultimately went on and played for the Patriots. So he got to witness his leadership firsthand, and he teaches me a little bit about leadership and how to really lead a team because he got to see it firsthand. So, yeah.
If your dad was blocking for you right now, what position would you want your dad to be on the offensive line?
I have full trust in my dad. I'd want him at the left tackle position.
All right, so you trust him with your blind side. Okay.
Yeah.
I respect it. So you talked about Justin Herbert, and you like his leadership. You like what he does and how he kind of goes about it. You've watched him in interviews. You've seen some things about his life. How would you describe your game? So if you look to him and say, I like his leadership style, what is your style like on the field? Is there a quarter, like, do you liken your game to how he throws the ball? Or, because I feel like no matter what you look to, you got to have your own flair, right? You have to be Dominick Sgambellone the third. You can't be any. I always say be the best version of yourself. Don't be the second best version of somebody else. So what is it about your game that you really feel like is your best attribute or best attributes that you bring out there?
I believe I'm really strong in the mental aspect of the game. I can break down a defense that's in front of me, and I have a pretty strong arm, I believe, so I can make any throw on the field. That's something I'm really strong at. But obviously, everything can always be improved, and I'm just trying to work on my game all the way up until I don't play anymore.
What's the thing in your game that you feel like you're very, like, you've improved the most? That thing that you reflect on and you say, like, wow, from where I started to where I am right now, I'm really proud that I put a lot of work into this thing. What is that thing?
I think it would be honestly the mental game because I sit down every day and I go through my plays, I go through my reads, I break down film. So that's something I really try and work on, that I try and set myself apart from other quarterbacks because like a lot of quarterbacks you can build up the physical aspect, but it's really the mental aspect that sets you apart. So that's what I try and work on a lot.
Yeah, and the mental side, not just in football but in life, mental strength, mental toughness, mental health. How have you learned the importance of that in your life?
Through school and again through my faith. CBA is a really great school and they have a high education. So I've really learned a lot from the teachers there and they've taught me pretty well as implementing faith. So always having the trust in God and everything like that.
So I'm guessing with this trust in God, this faith, you say you pray every night. Did you pray to God about this decision, and do you feel like he answered you?
Yeah, honestly, I did. I constantly called him every night and tried to get in touch with him to see what my decision should be. And I think he would ultimately lead me to a Christian faith school. So that's ultimately why I chose First Baptist. It wasn't the only reason, but it was a pretty big reason.
So you choose it, you feel good about it. They have to choose you as well. How did you feel like that school chose you? How did you feel like coach chose you? What is it about them that it wasn't just you saying, I want to go here, but you felt like they really want you to be there?
Walking through the front doors, the energy in the place, I really think the guys will rally around me, and I feel like I have a sense of family there already. I haven't even gone there a day of school yet, but I've gone down there and met some of the guys, and they're really welcoming and kind of already like a sense of family there.
So you've gotten to be around them, you've gotten to see them, you've gotten to experience that. You say it feels like family. What is it about your time with the guys that are already at First Baptist Academy that makes you feel like even though you're the new guy, that they're welcoming you and that you're already a part of something?
Just their honesty and really the open conversations that we've had, the laughs together. I mean, I haven't been down there very much, but I've already made strong connections. Really just enjoying my time with the guys down there and laughing, just chatting it up, everything like that.
Have you been, like, do you guys have a group chat or is there something that kind of keeps you all in touch with each other?
Yeah, we have a group chat. We have multiple group chats. There's a basketball group chat, a football group chat with all the guys in there. We talk like every night.
Are you playing basketball too or no?
Yeah, I play basketball as well.
So what position are you playing for First Baptist?
I don't know yet. I might sit out the rest of the year in basketball and focus on my training and get ready for spring ball because I haven't played spring ball yet. I've never really done anything like that, so I want to focus on that and maximize it.
Okay. All right, fair enough. But obviously, football is your passion. So is First Baptist Academy, is it like, just to give some context to the people that are watching and listening around the world, and of course here in New York, down in Florida, all across the country, is this like CBA where you don't have to be district, so to speak? You can kind of go, like, is it a private, because I see academy, so are we talking about a private school where they can really take kids from anywhere in the state of Florida?
Yeah, it is a private school. So First Baptist Academy, it's pretty similar to CBA with the application process and everything. So yeah, it is a private school.
So you're going there, you have this opportunity, it's coming up. When do you physically find yourself down in Florida for good?
January 6th. I start classes January 6th. And ultimately, if I love it, then I'm there forever.
So we got that. We have that opportunity here for you. We've seen the transfer portal, right, in college football, and this is kind of unique because this isn't a high school transfer portal. There's kids that move all the time, but it kind of mirrors the portal because you start at one place and you're finishing somewhere else. What has this transferring taught you about life, or maybe prepared you for, knowing that collegiately there is this opportunity to transfer, and now here you are transferring from one school to the next? So do you kind of feel like in any way, shape, or form it's kind of helping you to maybe grow up a little bit quicker, challenge yourself a little bit more, knowing that you're now moving from a high school to another high school when we're seeing a lot of movement collegiately?
Honestly, I think it is. You have to be ready for any change and anything that really happens in your life. So I think it teaches you to have a sense of responsibility in everything that you do and to be grateful for what you have, because anything can really change at any moment. But obviously this change was put on myself, so I have to be ready for what will come after it.
And now, as you get set to leave Christian Brothers Academy, what do you want to say to CBA and to Casey Brown, your head coach?
I mean, honestly, I appreciate them 1,000%. The coaching staff there is amazing, and they've obviously had a great deal of success, and they've really led me to the quarterback I am today. And I'm just really appreciative of them, and I wish them the best in the future.
Anything you want to say to offensive coordinator Bruce Williams?
Yeah, Bruce Williams, he's been a really great offensive coordinator, obviously calling the plays for our team. He's also been a part of that success, and I've gotten multiple training sessions with him, like outside of school and everything like that, outside of practice, and he's just been a great mentor for me, teaching me about the game, sitting down with me on Zoom calls just like this, breaking down film, just trying to help me be the best quarterback I can.
So when you bring me into how you let them know that you're going to be transferring and ultimately moving down to Florida, how did you let the staff know, and how did they respond?
I just tried to be honest, honestly. They always want the best for me, and they're very honest in their situation too. So they're excited for me. They're excited for me to go and compete down at in Florida and try and ultimately get to the next level. But they weren't I'll say, happiest to see that I was leaving, but they're excited to see what I'll do in my future.
So you talked about coach that's down at First Baptist Academy. What have they told you? What has the staff told you when you talk about honesty is important? You wanted to be honest with CBA, so obviously honesty appreciates honesty. What has been the honest conversation of the staff to you at First Baptist about your opportunity to get on the field?
My opportunity to get on the field, they have been straight up front with me. They have another quarterback there who I'm going to go in and compete and see where I stand. But I believe I have a fair shot at it. They've been fair with me throughout my process with them, seeing where I'm going to go for high school next and choosing them. Yeah. So I feel like they'll be fair, and I can go down there and compete and see where I stand.
What makes you believe that you can win a starting job?
My mental part of the game, I feel like it sets me apart really well, and the physical aspect, I think I can really honestly make every throw on the field, and I can get out of pressure. I believe I can do most of it.
Dream school? If there was a college that came calling in recruitment, do you have one or a few?
I do have a few. I've had a great contact with Syracuse over the years, being in the city, but ultimately I really like Notre Dame, again with the faith aspect. I grew up watching them, and that's a team I fell in love with as well.
So Notre Dame, like you said, the faith aspect. What else is it about Notre Dame? Like if you got a phone call and they said, Dominick Sgambellone, we want you to be our quarterback, we want you to come play for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Bring me into, if and when that phone call happens, just what that would mean to you in that moment.
Honestly, it'd mean the world, because that's something I've always dreamed of, and I'd obviously be ecstatic. That's all I want in life, is to get to the next level, and I train every day to get to that point. But yeah, I'd just be really happy, really excited, really grateful, and I don't even know, it'd just be unreal.
Besides the mental aspect of it that you feel sets you apart, what else makes you believe that you can make it at the next level?
Honestly, I believe making it at the next level, you have to have the physical aspects as well. And I think I have that. And my leadership ability, I can lead a team on and off the field. I can really rally a group of guys and I make sure everybody's on the same page in the weight room, on the field, everything, and ultimately lead the team to success.
How do you rally them? You know, leadership is interesting because you can't always lead everybody the same way. Not everybody gets the message the same way. So what makes you believe that you can get through to an entire team and help to lead them in the locker room, in practice, in film study, and on the field in a game?
Yeah, I mean, you got to show up to early to everything. You have to have confidence in your ability, and they have to feel that confidence. It's never cockiness. You always have to be confident in your ability. And guys around you, they sense that and they turn to that and they want to kind of like implement that into their own game, and they rally around like your ability to make plays and like decide stuff while you're on the field and like those split second decisions, and they rally around that.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, not only to be there early and whatnot, but if you want to have true leadership, you have to show that you can do it, right? You got to go out there and do the work. You can't just ask other people to do it. So you heard him, Notre Dame, and the rest of the country. Dominick Sgambellone III, don't you forget that name. Dominick, we're going to have some fun here. We're going to do something on the show called Rapid Fire. It gives you an opportunity to ask me questions. I can ask you questions. They can be football related, or they could be anything. They could be music, movies, food, whatever we want them to be. You get to ask me the first question. What do you got?
I'll probably ask, how do you implement your faith into your life?
Man, that's a great question. It's in everything that I do. I don't hide it. You know, how do I implement it into what I do? You know, so I was told a long time ago, they said, anyone who meets you, even if they're just around you for like 10 minutes, a short amount of time, they said, you don't have to tell us you believe in God. We see it. We just see it in how you are and just your energy and whatnot. So how do I implement it? I don't hide it. I lead with it. It's a part of me. Anybody asks me, how did I start my company? I say, God and I in the trenches literally molded the air in front of us and turned it into something tangible. I mean, full disclosure, I'm a single guy, so I've been on dates before, and a woman says, how'd you create your company? And I say, God and I in the trenches, and I watch her reaction. If she doesn't like that I say God, I'm like, all right, then this is the last date that I'm probably going to have. I put him out there. I share him. I celebrate him. I value him. I mean, the tagline of my show is God bless, no stress, do your best. He's the first word of my tagline. So how do I implement God in my life? It's such a natural thing that I don't even have to think about it. Because I think when you truly believe in God and you don't just say you do, he just comes out. It comes out in how you treat people, what you say, how you say it, how you check yourself. You know, I'll apologize. You know, if I'm wrong about something, I'll tell somebody, hey, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. You know, I think you can't just say you believe in God. You have to show you believe in God, which means sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes you have to apologize. Sometimes you have to go the extra mile. You have to be the bigger person in a lot of ways, and you got to forgive. You got to be open. And I mean, I just saw somebody right before Christmas that I felt like disrespected me maybe once or twice. And when I saw him, I could have ignored him and walked away. I went up to him. I said hello to him. I shook his hand. I stood there for a minute. I wished him a Merry Christmas. And my buddy said to me, he goes, you're just spreading Christmas cheer everywhere. And he had no idea that the guy that I talked to just then in that moment was a guy that I felt like lied to me and was not really fair with me. But I never told him that. I mean, to him, he's just, oh, you know that guy like you know somebody else. And I think that's the biggest thing is you have to treat people that are disrespectful and mean to you the same way you treat people that love you. Because God didn't say be nice to nice people. He said be nice to everybody. Treat people as you want to be treated. And it's a challenge sometimes, but I feel like when you're good to someone who isn't good to you, that reflects to God that you will never let this world take you from him.
For sure.
My question back to you, Dominick, if you took over my show Monday morning and it's Wake Up Call with Dominick Sgambellone III, who are your 3 guests that you would have on the show and why?
I think I'd have my dad first. I think he'd have a lot to talk about, honestly. Him being a big part of my life, ultimately with football and raising me, I think he would be a really good guest to have on first.
Okay.
And then one of my mentors, I think Justin Herbert would also be a great guy to have on, have him talk about how he went through the process and ultimately leading him to the NFL. And then I think third, I would have to add my mom. I think she's also a very big part of my life, doing really everything for me, helping me out. So I think I could add her as well. She'd be a big part of it.
What's your mom's first name?
Brittany.
So shout out to Brittany, because we've talked about Dominick. So shout out to Miss Brittany and celebrating you. I was waiting because you said dad, and I thought you'd say Justin Herbert. So I'm like, okay. I was like, he better say his mom. He's going to be in some trouble today. So what's your next question for me, Dominick?
I'll say ultimately starting a company like you have now, what are some hardships that you face?
Man, people stealing my work. You know, I think companies that have been around for a long time and they feel like, you know, everybody knows us. I don't know if it's this mentality of like, hey, if we steal from him, we're bigger than he is. So like nobody will notice. So I think, you know, some of the hardships is seeing plagiarism, seeing people steal my work. I think it's, you know, working to get into some rooms where people are like, well, who are you? And why'd you create? I remember I had an NFL franchise that credentialed me. And when I was working at this radio station, they gave me a credential. And then I called them the next year. I said, hey, I'm doing the same show, but I'm starting my own company. So literally, I'm the same host. It's the same show. I just chose to go off on my own. And they're like, we don't credential individuals. And I'm like, but you credentialed me as an individual. Oh, no, you worked at a radio station. I'm like, how does me working at a station or me working for myself give any credence to what I do if I'm the same broadcaster in both places? Like, shouldn't my work speak more than who I work for? And so I think, you know, having to build that, knowing people steal from you. And I would say, you know, another hardship is I think, you know, dealing with the fact that not everyone's going to treat you the way that you treat them. And I think that that's something that's, I mean, you really learn in my line of work, really in any line of work, but you learn a lot from what I do for a living because I'm with people all the time, that it's how you treat people. So, like, I'll go to the ends of the earth for a school across the country that treats me like gold, but I could have a school down the street that has no respect for me whatsoever, and it makes you not want, like, I care about the kids and I care about the coaches, but when a school disrespects you 5 minutes away and a school treats you like gold 1,000 miles away, I would rather get on a plane and do everything for that school than even go down the street for the school. I mean, that doesn't respect you. So I think, you know, one of the greatest hardships is no matter how good of a person you try to be, no matter how hard you work, some people will never value you. Some people will never appreciate you. And it's one of the hardest things to learn, but it is true in life. People treat you the way that they are, not the way that you deserve to be treated. So how somebody treats you says everything about them and nothing about you. And you could be a nice person, a kind person, hardworking, consistent, and they could still not give you a credential or still steal from you or still yell at you or still be mean to you or still put you at the bottom of the totem pole. And I've wondered that. I'm like, how do you work with a place for 14 years and you still don't matter to them? And what you realize at the end of the day is that says everything about their character and nothing about yours. How people treat you is who they are. And what you realize 99.9% of the time is if someone treats you poorly and you can't figure it out, you will eventually see or hear that they treated someone else the same way. And more often than not, when you're like, man, I can't figure out why this person treats me so bad, more often than not, you will find that they will do that exact same thing to somebody else. And that's when you realize it's got nothing to do with you. And it stinks. I mean, do I like walking into a room where I feel unwelcome? No. But at the end of the day, I'm going to chase my dreams. I'm going to go after what I want to go after. Jesus Christ is human and God and perfect, and they murdered him. So if I walk into a room where people steal from me, lie to me, and disrespect me, are they killing me? Are they putting me on a cross? No, then I can deal with it.
Yeah.
My question back to you, Dominick. If you could play for any NFL franchise, let's fast forward. We're going into the NFL draft. Dominick Sgambellone III's on the board. If you could pick a school, if you could pick a team, where would you go?
Growing up, I've always liked the New York Giants, so I think I'd have to pick them. They weren't very successful this year, but
I knew you were going to say the Giants. I knew it.
Yeah, growing up in New York, I mean, you gotta love the Giants or the Bills, but my dad liked the Giants, so I like the Giants as well.
So I will say this about the Giants, and your dad being a former offensive lineman. No matter who their quarterback is, can they please get 5 guys to protect that man?
I know. I know.
That's if you want to know the importance of an offensive line, look at the New York Giants.
Yeah.
What's your final question for me? What would you say?
I said it's been a struggle for the Giants this year.
Yeah, man. There's a reason why, no matter who that Jackson Dart's been putting up really good fantasy numbers, but they got to protect him.
For sure.
What's your last
O-line's
question?
the most important position.
Yeah, 100%.
I think I'd say, if you played any sports growing up, what did you take away from those sports, and how did you implement those values into your life?
That's a great question. Phenomenal question. I played basketball most of my life. I still, to this day, go and shout out to Game Point Sports Complex where I can always get shots up. And I was actually there a few days ago. Basketball is a sport, and how did I implement what I learned? Honestly, I could go right back to when I was 7 years old, and I was in my bedroom. I walked in to see my dad. The coach wasn't playing me, and I said to my father, I want to quit. And he didn't respond.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad, did you not hear me? Like, I'm quitting the team. And he was reading the newspaper, and he goes, no. I said, what do you mean, no? It's my decision. Like, it's not yours. Like, I don't want to be on the team anymore. I'm quitting. He goes, he said, Daniel, there's going to be decisions you make in life, and there's going to be time, like you're going to make decisions in your life, and it's your life. But in this situation, I'm telling you no. I'm not going to allow you to quit, because if I allow you to quit today, you will quit for the rest of your life.
For sure,
and I will never forget that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, and I didn't quit. So, my question back to you, Dominick. Well, with a last name like Sgambellone and me being Tortora, I feel like there's good food in our family. So,
for sure, yeah.
I want to know what the Christmas spread looked like and what your favorite dessert and favorite meal is during Christmas time.
Oh, I mean, I love to eat. So we had for Christmas this year, we obviously being Italian, we had some pasta in there. But we had the casual ham, we had mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, garlic knots, all sorts of stuff like that. But I think my favorite dish had to be the Riggies. I love Riggies.
Now, is this all homemade?
Yeah, of course.
So who's making this? Mom and dad, or mom or just dad? Who's making it?
Honestly, my grandma cooks a lot.
Grandma? What's grandma's first name?
Rena.
So, Rena, shout out to you. Riggies, garlic knot. So I got 2 questions. One, why was I invited over for Christmas dinner? That's first, Dominick, and that goes to your family too. I'm talking to mom and dad. And then secondly, before you leave, between now and January 6th, can I get some leftovers? Is there anything left, or is it all gone?
I mean, we gave all the leftovers to the family who came. They all got to-go boxes because the food was so good, but I think we might still have some left.
All right, let's work that out. Shout out to Rena. Much love to her. So with that being said, Dominick Sgambellone III here with us, First Baptist Academy down in Florida. He'll come and see you very soon on January 6th in the new year, January 6th, 2026. Dominick, it has been my absolute pleasure. I know that I spoke with your dad about doing something like this, and I'm not just saying this because you're on the air. you have been one of my favorite interviews and one of the best young people out there when it comes to answering questions, asking questions, having a good head on your shoulder, and just knowing, giving me weight to the questions, giving me like answers that really show that you think, that you break it down. And honestly felt like you and I went through these questions before, which we did not. So with that being said, Dominick Sgambellone III, I appreciate my time with you. One of my favorite interviews that I've ever done on the show, and it's saying a lot in 22 plus years of doing it. So if you'd like to come back, Dominick, I'd love to chronicle your story and have you back on the show.
For sure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Have a good day, and make sure that you go into the kitchen right now, scrounge up them leftovers, put them in a box, and you better guard that with your life.
Oh, I will for sure. Thank you.
All right, man. Be good. I'll talk to you soon. Merry Christmas.
All right. Merry Christmas. Bye.
See you. That coming in from Dominick Sgambellone here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We got a final step aside to make here on the show inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. We'll be back to wrap up Christmas week right after this.
New York, great cars, great people, Great Lakes. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
All right, you need...
Avicoli's Restaurant, located on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, has been serving our community for decades. Your place to go for home cooking on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road is just minutes from Liverpool High School. And every single month, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is on site, on location, with Liverpool sports, student athletes, coaches, and administration telling their stories throughout the year. We look forward to seeing you on site at Avicoli's for their casual pizza side, their fine dining, as well as their bar. And of course, you can order online at myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. For takeout, delivery, and catering, call 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. Come on in to the neighborhood spot Avicoli's, open 7 days a week in Liverpool, New York. K-9 Campground Dog Boarding is your home away from home for your furry-loving friends. Open 7 days a week with drop-off and pickup times in the morning and later on in the day and early evening. K-9 Campground Dog Boarding is the spot to trust with your dog for short and long-term stays. Call 315-299-4013 for more information. That's 315-299-4013, and go to K9Campground.com as well. That's K9 ground.com, where you will find all of the information on their different cabins, which include the classic cabin, executive cabin, grand cabin, and luxury cabin. K9 Campground Dog Boarding, where your dog will have indoor and outdoor areas as well as their own private cabin for any size, any breed, as well as dogs with different needs. Dog parents and dogs alike choose K9 Campground Dog Boarding. Isn't that right, Lily? Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is your one-stop sports card and trading card shop. Get yourself into GG Cards and Breaks today. They have packs, boxes, singles, as well as graded cards. They have so many great things there, and really, honestly, it's the spirit of it. Josh Gideon's a big kid, and because Josh, the owner of GG Cards and Breaks, Anthony Campbell, Alex, Joel, everybody that's there, Dave, having the staff that they have, a bunch of big kids that love cards and celebrate cards and opening them, and just the connection that it brings, right? The friendships that come from just sitting around and opening packs of cards together and talking about your favorite teams, your favorite players, your favorite trading card games, your favorite characters. There's so much to be said about what a pack of cards does. My mom still gets me, a pack of cards. It was in my stocking for Christmas. And those are the things that travel with me from 9 years old to 16 to 25 to 31 to 40. And that's what GG Cards and Breaks brings to life every single week, is they bring that kid spirit. They connect you to yourself in so many different points of your life, because sports cards and trading cards just has a way of doing it. There's something beautiful and magical about it, and I don't even know if it can be adequately described simply in words. You have to go experience it, which is why I suggest you go to GG Cards and Breaks today and every week, Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6, Sundays from 10 to 5 on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. We'll see you there. Want to give a big thanks to Chick-fil-A in DeWitt, the giant behemoth of a Chick-fil-A. And if you're out there today and you got to return gifts and run around and do this and do that and hanging out with the family and going out to eat and whatnot, well, why not go to Chick-fil-A? Go and get your food. You can order on the app. You can go through the drive-thru. They got a double drive-thru. Get a lot of cars through there. A lot of traffic comes through Chick-fil-A in DeWitt, and with a double drive-thru all the way around, makes life easier for everybody. And they have a massive dining room, huge building. You can't miss it. It's a giant brick building on the corner of two major streets in central New York, here on the corner of Bridge Street and Erie Boulevard. Megan Sorber and her team do an incredible job. They're there for you today. And, of course, they have the peppermint chip shake for a limited time. Do not miss out on that shake, as well as all of the wonderful things at Chick-fil-A. Whether you're a fan of the original, the spicy, or the grilled, Chick-fil-A DeWitt is waiting to welcome you today, and it would be their pleasure. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, thank you for hanging out with us inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe. You've been with us on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and of course on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You're also with us once the shows go live. They hop into the archive, and you can hang out with Wake Up Call on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. So make sure you do that today. It is free to do, and make sure you subscribe and follow us so that you never miss a broadcast again. By the way, on Podbean alone, I'm very grateful to God to be able to say this to you. We have reached over 2,000 shows on there that you can go back and listen to over many years, and we have been downloaded almost 200,000 times, which is far below the amount of plays that are there. I think the amount of plays we had was 300,000 many years ago. So I always say we're close to 1 million. We probably hit 1 million plays at this point by the grace of God. So thanks for being with us. Thanks for downloading us. And thank you to the world for being with us. We've had people from all over the world on our Podbean alone. And just a couple months ago, Sweden out-downloaded America 4-1. So I don't know what we did to catch Sweden's eye, but thank you for the amount of downloads of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora out in Sweden. And God bless to everybody everywhere. Many thanks to those of you supporting us in Central and Upstate New York, Great Lakes, Honda City, Carvel DeWitt. By the way, I'm unveiling in the new year an all-new Sunday. It's my third Sunday that I'm bringing to the longest-standing Carvel franchise in America, Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street, 7 days a week. It's the only place you're going to be able to get my Sunday. I can't wait to tell you what it is, to give you the name of it. I put a lot of work into this. I'm excited. When I get off the air, I'm actually unveiling it to my mom, so she doesn't even know yet. So I got to tell her before I tell you. And then we're going to put up the picture for it, get it ready for you. I cannot wait for the all-new Sunday coming to you from Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora exclusively at Carvel DeWitt. So stay tuned. The Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, Myers Creek with 2 locations, 33 Rippleton Road, on the countryside in Cazenovia. And, of course, you can also find them on 720 Van Rensselaer Street in Syracuse, New York, the home of where we did Wake Up Call Game Day during football season this season. You can go and see them there on 720 Van Rensselaer Street in Syracuse, New York, in the Syracuse Inner Harbor. Big time thanks to Chick-fil-A Cicero. Thanks to K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare. Mother's Cupboard, the home of my exclusive breakfast sandwich in Central New York. You can go and get that today. It is the Cuse Mac Mother. Open 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. daily on 3709 James Street in Syracuse, New York. Head over to Mother's Cupboard and get my sandwich, my breakfast sandwich, bacon, egg, and cheese inside of 2 pieces of French toast. Pick it up and eat it like a sandwich. Cut it up and have it with some syrup, and you can get it there, like I said, 7 days a week only at Mother's Cupboard. Many thanks to Ma and Pa's, the snack capital of the world, Game Point Sports Complex, Pizza Man, Chick-fil-A Cicero, K-9 Campground Dog Boarding, Brian's Landing, which is a fantastic spot for you to go and brunch. I love brunch, and there is no brunch like Brian's Landing. Go and visit them on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Let them know that DT sent you. And, of course, many thanks to Avicoli's, and we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. The Bobcats are with us every month. Student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni. Find out all by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldT. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our BSC Syracuse playlist. The Bobcats are also on wakeupcalldT.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Bearcats every single Tuesday during Bearcat time. That's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time worldwide. You will find your Bearcats right here on Wake Up Call. Student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni. Our most recent special, our Moments with Marshall, featuring Gene Marshall, the athletics director at Binghamton University. You do not want to miss 2025's year in review and a look to 2026 with the leader of the athletic department, Mr. Gene Marshall. You can check that out and everything on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, find our Binghamton playlist. The Bearcats are also on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to binghamtonbearcats.com and go Bearcats. The Onondaga Community College Lasers are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your lasers every other Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. That's bi-monthly Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time with the Lasers of Onondaga Community College. And you can find all of our content by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, find our OCC playlist. You also find the Lasers on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For all of our content, including our national champion content with Paul Clark, which happened this week, make sure you go to our YouTube channel. And for more information on the Lasers in general, go to onondagalazers.com and go Lasers. I want to thank you all for being a part of the show today. I want to thank you all for hanging out with us for Christmas week. I can't believe Christmas already happened. I'm excited to share this time with you. I cannot wait to unveil my all-new Sunday at Carvel DeWitt. Can't wait to tell my mom about it right when we get off the air, and then I'm going to tell you about it. A lot of great stuff coming up, so you better stay tuned for our Sunday unveiling, as well as so much more on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, X at Call DT, and Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. For now, from the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. By the way, so many things got added to wakeupcalldt.com. Go and check out the website today. Check out the host tab. Check out how you can connect with us and advertise with us. And, of course, see all the new things that are at our homepage, including all of our national content on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. For now, for Carvel DeWitt for the Annoying Moment of the Week, Chick-fil-A Cicero for Lead, K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare for Top Dog of the Week, and, of course, Dominick Sgambellone III and to his family. I say Merry Christmas once again to all of you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you, God, for letting me do what I love and love what I do. Thank you to my amazing parents for a wonderful Christmas. Thank you to my amazing dog for being the best daughter in the whole wide world and in this whole universe and then some. I love you all. I appreciate you all. God bless. No stress. Do your best. From the Great Lakes Honda City Studios and the place I grew up in, be well, be safe, stay blessed, and know that you are loved and you are never, ever alone.